Welcome on in, guys. Three bold takes yet again. I'm Freddie. I'm joined by Chase and Quinn, and today we're looking at Tennessee at Oklahoma in the Sooners' first road, or actually home SEC game ever. But before we do that, we are sponsored by SeatGeek now. This video and our channel. So use our code 3BoldTakes to get $20 off your first purchase. Link is down below to download the app. Again, that is 3BoldTakes for $20 off. I use them. We all use them. We love SeatGeek. Shows you what a great deal it is. All the things. But let's move on to the task at hand, and that is Tennessee at Oklahoma. Now, this game is Saturday, 6:30 on ABC. It's part of that SEC on ABC broadcast here. Oklahoma's at home for their first SEC game. Over-under is 58.5, and Tennessee is a 7-point favorite in the game. Quinn, I want to hear you first.
Look, I think you look at Tennessee's schedule. I don't think they've played a real secondary yet. I think Oklahoma has a real defense this year, which people may not be ready to hear that because they're so used to the Lincoln Riley era. But I think Venables is finally starting to get his scheme, players, and system in place. And that defense is starting to come to form as a top in defense in college football. Like we're probably another season away from Oklahoma being elite defensively. I don't know if I trust Oklahoma's offense, guys. It's been bad. They started hot on Tulane, and then they just petered off in the second half and couldn't put the game away. They couldn't score against Houston to save their lives. Tennessee, on the other hand, has been scoring at will on everybody. But then again, who have they beat? Like NC State's not that good this year. We thought they might be, but they've looked unimpressive. And then outside of that, you didn't play much of nothing. That crowd in Norman's going to be crazy. Give me Oklahoma to upset Tennessee. I'm taking Venables as a schemer, beating a true freshman in his first big road game in Oklahoma. I don't think Iamaleava is ready for the scene.
I'm actually very surprised by that. Very surprised by that.
I'm surprised he called him by his last name and not just said Nico. That was impressive.
Well, I agree with Quinn. I think this is going to be a huge game for Norman. I think they're going to just be up and at him. This is a 6:30 game, so a night game. It's probably your primetime game, right? And I'm also going to agree. We did think. We're going to talk on how we all thought that NC State was going to be a decent game, a good defense for Nico to have to play. They weren't. We got it wrong. NC State even struggled last week. I think they played an FCS opponent or a very small group of five, one of the two. And they struggled in that game too. So NC State is not going to be who we thought they've been the last couple of years, and so that's okay. But Tennessee has absolutely just shown their offense. So this is going to be a better team than the year of Hendon Hooker and Josh Heupel when they beat Alabama. I'm going to say the offense is my bet. I think it truly is. This is going to be a very good team, very stout offense. It's going to score a lot of points. It's going to put a lot on you. But the difference in that is I think the defense is going to be up to par. This is going to be an above-average defense for the Volunteers. You got a potential number one overall pick in James Pierce off the edge, who is just wreaking havoc at will on these offensive linemen. I love what he's doing. Almost a Will Anderson type of guy that they have over there in Tennessee. So it's not just some slouch of a defense that you have, and the offense is doing all the work. Tennessee's a real contender this year. From what I've seen so far, it's early in the season, though. Two a group of five teams or FCS teams that they've played, and then NC State, who's not been who we thought they were. And then you got Oklahoma on the other hand, who I love what Jackson Arnold's doing. He's having some growing pains. You've played some really tough teams. You've played Tulane, who's a potential group of five candidate for the playoffs. And then you've played Houston, who I thought is a decent Big 12 team, and they're coming in their own as well. But at the same point, these are teams you should beat no matter what. And they pulled away from Tulane late, which gave me some hope. For me, I'm taking Nico in Tennessee. I think it is very easy here. You have a shot. You have a shot at the first freshman to win the Heisman since, I believe, Johnny Manziel, if that's correct, if I'm not mistaken there. I think Nico's going to have a wonderful season this year. I think he's going to start, and this is going to be the start of a beautiful Heisman campaign for him. He's just going to grow from here. I think Oklahoma, welcome to the SEC. This is the first big one for you. Give me Tennessee and the Volunteers to take on Oklahoma.
For me in this game, you've got obviously Oklahoma's first SEC game at night, at home, against, I'm going to go ahead and say it, Tennessee might be the best or the second best team in the SEC. They're one of the only teams besides Texas and Ole Miss that has not looked shaky in any game that they've played. I don't care who they're playing. If you look at Alabama, it was USF, right? Now, of course, they came back the week later and destroyed Wisconsin on the road. Then you look at Georgia last week against Kentucky, struggled mightily on the road, winning by 1 point, which Georgia always plays bad at Kentucky under Kirby Smart, it seems like. But that's beside the point. Tennessee's been the most consistent team, them in Texas, and I'll throw Ole Miss in there too, all year. And I think that speaks to what Tennessee is doing and how they're trying to build their team, right? Like they're not this throw it around, spread the field, score a million points if possible. Like they're not the air raid style offense like people like to think that they are. They are they're a run the football and play physical defense now. And that's something that if you don't actually watch Tennessee, you don't know. And you just assume, hey, they just put up 71 points against Kent State. Holy God, they're throwing it, 80 times a game. No, that's not true. Actually, Nico has thrown 67 passes through 3 games, and Jackson Arnold has thrown almost 90. So they throw the ball a lot less than what people think and what they used to. Tennessee's going to beat them bad. I'm going to say this. Tennessee's liable to win this game by 14. I just don't think Oklahoma is that good. Their defense hasn't shown me much. Their offense struggles mightily. This is going to be a big test for Oklahoma and also for Tennessee. Like, let's not forget who's Tennessee's actually played. Yes, NC State isn't as good as we thought they was, but they beat them just as bad as they would have beaten a Group of 5 team. And I think NC State's better than a Group of 5 team. 51-10. So I don't know, man. I like what I'm seeing from Tennessee. If I'm a Tennessee fan, I am super excited for this year. This is your best chance to beat Georgia and Alabama in the same year than you've ever had as a Tennessee fan. That's my prediction. Tennessee's winning this game by 14+ points on the road at Oklahoma. Anything else from you guys?
Yeah, I think when you look at this Oklahoma team as well, you got to remember, and Quinn kind of alluded to it earlier, this isn't Lincoln Riley anymore. Your identity is not offense. Your identity is defense. And so these last 2 games that you've had, the Houston, the Tulane games, that's going to be a majority of how you're going to win games. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be very ugly at points, definitely to teams that you should probably beat by 2-3 touchdowns like Houston. But you're going to grind some out. And at the end of the day, definitely where college football is at, this time of year, it's about winning to get to the playoffs. Did you finish 11-1? Did you finish 12-0? Did you finish 10-2? Okay, how many of those games did you win by 40? Doesn't matter as much anymore. Get to the playoffs and then perform. Right now, it's about winning those games, and Venables is going to find ways to do that, but it's going to be very tough against high-powered offenses like Tennessee's.
Yeah, it's a good call out. Well, guys, that has been our prediction on Tennessee and Oklahoma. Remember, use code 3BoldTakes at SeatGeek to score $20 off your first purchase. Link down below. From Freddie, Chase, and Quinn, we've been 3 Bold Takes, and we will continue this weekly with our predictions, reactions, all the things. Hope to see you guys back. God bless you, and thanks for being